Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad, where we sit down together, or actually I stand, but you can sit down or you can stand, whatever you want, and I design a card, and actually I show you step by step how to do this card. This is the one I'm going to make today, and it's called I'll Always Be Here For You, and it uses quite a few products on our website. Hopefully a lot of them you already have, so you can follow along with me. If you do not have some of these products, you can go below this video on our website and click on those products and you can order them and have them shipped to you. Then we can do the class together. Now this is really fun because it is a stand-up, and I love stand-ups. I love cards that just do something. So I have my step-ups, or I have my flip-its, and I have my stand-ups, and I have the drop-ins. So I have a lot of cards that do a lot of different things, just something to make it a little bit more exciting than a flat card that you just open and close. So here we have the stand-up card, and we're going to use various products. One thing we're going to use is the Royal Stand-Ups Flip It. I'm sorry, I always want to say Flip It. The Royal Stand-Ups card that I designed for Sizzix. We're also using the Hooray collection of pattern paper by Stamps of Life. We're also using More Owls to Stand. I think it's More Owls to Love. Sorry, More Owls to Love. And also my triplets leaf set, which is really fun. It's perfect for fall, spring, anything. This one's kind of like a fall card if you kind of think about it. So what we're going to do first is we are going to always cut the card base first. So let's work on that. We're going to go ahead and get our handy dandy die cut machine out. And we're going to get the die out. Now don't be overwhelmed. This comes with 22 dies. When you hear that, don't go, 22, what am I supposed to do with 22? Just focus on the large pieces. Those are the most important pieces in the kit. So I'm going to get out the card base, and that's the largest one. And I'm going to get out some cardstock, and I realize that is really close. I cut that really close. I'm going to lay that down. Now, of course, I am using my extended platform, and it's magnetic, so that helps me quite a bit. And I'm also going to skew this ever so slightly. Now, you hear me say this in almost every video. No speed bumps. We don't want it to go straight through the machine parallel with the rollers. We want to skew it ever so slightly. That's going to give us a better cut when it runs through the machine. Then we're going to take our extended cutting pad and we are going to run that through the machine. Now I love these dies because they die cut and they score at the same time, so we don't have to worry about scoring it. I'm going to pop that out, move that off to the side. Then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to grab the layering piece, and I'm just going to do the front part, and I'm going to lay this down and I'm going to run this through. Now I want to pay attention to where see, this is like a window. A framelit is like a frame or a window where I can see what I'm going to get. Now I don't want it to be like that because my stripes will be funny. I really want to pay attention to where my stripes line up. So that looks great, but this is a speed bump, right? We don't want speed bumps. So we're going to tilt this. And you'll notice, oh look, I go off the edge here. I hope you can see that, yeah. Off the edge here, and if I do that going through the machine, it's gonna kind of mess it up a little. There's a couple things you can do, but because I only need to use half of this paper, I'm just gonna do the easy peasy thing and the lazy thing and just kind of cut this in half. So I'm just going to, and this is how I cut things. Easy peasy, right? So we're gonna line this up. Now I can skew this on my machine, making sure my stripes are lined up. I don't want it to be funky. And then I can run this through with no speed bumps. Ha ha ha, right? So we'll run this through. Easy peasy. Pop that out. And then we're going to, and I notice we're using another pattern paper pad on here, so it looks like we're also using our first paper pad, so we'll need to make sure I think that's the Celebrate collection. So I have these two here, and I've already die cut the leaves from the triplets. So I did 2 of the dots with 2 leaf color, I think this is artichoke cardstock. Then also 2 small, what is it? 2 yellow, I don't actually use that one. That's funny that it's in there. So, and then 2 yellow little leaves. All of those leaves are in the triplet set. So I've die cut those already. And then also in the kit is the cute little acorn. And so we have the little acorn that I've already die cut those as well. So we're gonna lay all those down. And then we even stamped it with, this one is Backgrounds to Build, I believe. And you can just see that adds a little bit extra texture. So let's start putting our card together. We're going to move this up to the side and get our handy dandy secret weapon. And I've already stamped my cute little layering piece. Now this layering piece die does come in the kit, so let me show you what that looks like. It's one that looks like this, so I just ran that through the white. See, boom, ran that through. So now we have that in white. And we stamped it and we just kind of colored it a little tiny bit. You can just use a cotton swab or a Q-tip or a blender, and then we stamped it. I'll always be here for you. So let's put our card together, and we're going to simply just add adhesive to the back. Now, we don't want to ever do adhesive on top of our secret weapon, because if you get adhesive on it, it's kind of not a good thing. Now, we did use pop-up dots in our sample. Let me see if I do have some. Sometimes I use pop-up dots, sometimes I don't, but on this one we did. So we're going to add some pop-up dots, and these I kind of think aren't going to give me trouble. So, oh, there's some. So let's get our little, where'd my little guy go? Oh, here he is. I lost him. So we're going to add this guy. And for the sake of time, I won't add too much adhesive to it because it'll just take too much time. So we're going to add that one down there. And then on the little yellow leaves, we did add a little bit of inking. And you can use a blender tool, and I cannot believe I don't have a blender tool handy. But you can also, if you don't have a blender tool, you can use a makeup sponge. You can also just kind of go along the edges just like this if you like. There's lots of different ways you can do this. There's no wrong way to ink, and that's kind of the nice thing about inking is you can go a lot or a little. So that one I kind of just did medium. This one I can go more if I want. I'm using the banana ink pad because the ink pads match the paper, of course, because that makes it more fun, right? So we've inked those, and we can go ahead and add that to our card. So let's add this one here. And let's add this one up here. Now I do notice we also added, and I cannot believe I don't have a great pen here, but we added cute little ink dots all the way around. So let me show you that, just so you can see that all the way around. And let's finish our little acorn. So we're gonna add our green. Now I should have put Sizzix adhesive on the back of this because that would have been much easier to get that adhesive on there, right? And so let's try to add this. Add a little bit of adhesive to that, and you can see how I'm struggling to get adhesive on this. If I would have put that Sizzix adhesive on here, easy peasy, as you know if you've used that Sizzix adhesive before. So we're adding that. Let's add this to our card. I'm gonna drop that right in there. Make sure it goes on top. And then let's add our cute little acorn. Where'd my little acorn go? I lost him already. There we go. So I'll add a little bit of adhesive on here. Isn't this cute? It's such a perfect fall card too. We'll add a little acorn piece here. Just like that. Awesome. Oh, and we need to add some twine. Now for twine, you can use Zots or glue dots or anything like that. You can also use liquid glue. I prefer Zots as often as possible because that way it's already dry. I don't have to worry about it drying because that would be the worst, right? So we've added that. Now it's time to decorate the inside. We're gonna flip this open and you're gonna see that we decorated the inside as well, especially using our washi tape. Hello. So, oh, that looks like cat hair on mine. You can tell my cat's been here. So this, I'm gonna fold this. Let's fold it first so we make sure we get that nice and folded. Fold it on the score line that the die has created for me. And then we are going to layer this at the bottom. And I love how that's a really subtle look. It's not like in your face, it's very subtle. So we'll just fold that back over. And then we are going to add our other little pieces. So now I see I need my yellow. Is that the one I inked? Where's the one I inked? I thought I inked one. Well, I need to ink this one. Looks like I have one that didn't get inked. So let's add some ink to it. Again, you could use a Q-tip, a makeup brush, a blender, anything you like. And let's add adhesive to this one. So you can tell I add adhesive a lot to my table because my table is a mess. Ken's gonna say, why did you let them see your table? Because it is always a mess. My table is always a mess. So we're gonna add this one, just like that. And these triplets make it so easy because everything is in the package. This one comes with 8 dies. So it comes with leaves, it comes with the acorns. I always try to make sure you get a really good value, because that way you're gonna be more apt to buy it and use it over and over again. Because the more pieces you have in there, the more options you have. The more options you have, the more versatile it is. The more versatile it is, the happier you'll be, right? There is a rhyme to my crazy reason. So let's add that. And I love to always decorate the inside of the cards because it just adds a little extra surprise. And people always like that when they open it. They're like, oh wow, you even decorated the inside. They get all excited. So there's our cute little acorn. And then we need to stamp the back because we always want to make sure people know that we designed this. And even though I'm on chocolate cardstock, we need to ink this up. And then I really want to make sure I use my secret weapon. So I'm going to ink that up, and this one just says created by Stephanie Barnard, so I'm going to stamp it. There we go. And you can see the black, the licorice on the chocolate. So there is our finished product. Oh, and we always want to make sure we push up that little belly button notch to make sure that our card stays. And this is something that I share in my classes, is if this doesn't close, if it goes like that, that just means you need to score it a little bit more on the center line, and then it's going to stand up perfectly. And there we go. Isn't that cute? Start to finish, easy peasy. Just die cut and stamp and have some fun. Thanks so much for joining me for another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad, and I appreciate you joining me. Check out the website for even more fun videos, thestampsoflife.com. Thanks so much, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.